Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Sylvia from Spill the Tarot, my channel Sylvia Memoir. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you so much for being here. And today is another ghost stories, another episode where I'm basically sharing with you for the first time basically my personal experience, which have developed my interest in spirituality and the occult over the last 25 years. So today I'm taking you somewhere as well. So we are around between 2012 and 2013 and approximately, and I'm taking you to Yerevan, and this is another country that I used to fly to for work. And we used to stay in a beautiful hotel in the center of Yerevan, near the square, and the hotel was absolutely beautiful. And when this encounter happened, this was not the first time for me to stay in this hotel, but on this particular occasion something different happened at the same time. So I arrived after a trip, after a flight, and I went to the desk, and with my colleague we were assigned the rooms for the trip. I think the trip was about 3 days, and basically, usually we were staying, the hotel was very big, and usually we were staying in the same area of the hotel, and so we will be more or less on the same side of the hotel. But on this particular occasion, something was different. The lady at the desk said to me, I'm really sorry, and on this particular occasion we are very busy in the hotel at the moment, and so I am unable to put you close in the same area of the hotel as the rest of the crew, so we had to move you on the other side of the hotel. And she was apologetic for that, because usually you tend to stay in the same area or close by to the rest of the crew. So of course I said, it's not a problem, doesn't matter, it's perfectly fine. And so I was given the key, and so off I went to my room on the other side of the hotel. This hotel was, as I said, it was very grandiose, very, very big, and you have this beautiful staircase and the entrance after the reception, almost like Gone with the Wind, kind of beautiful big staircase. So the rest of the crew went on the right side, as they usually do, and I continue further along the corridor after the staircase, and then I turn on the left. And it was a good, I would say, about 15 minutes, even a 20-minute walk before I would finally find my room. So I arrived to my room, I opened the room, and the first thing that I noticed is, of course, the room was so much bigger. It almost looked like a beautiful suite with very elegant furniture, which was much bigger comparing to the other side of the hotel where we usually stay, and also the furniture were really different. So anyway, I got ready to go to bed after the long flight. But one thing that I can say is, when I entered the room, of course, unfortunately, I had a weird feeling, the kind of feeling that I usually sense or feel when there is a presence, but it wasn't too strong. So I decided to, as I usually would do, to just ignore it. And so I went to the bathroom, take off my makeup, have a shower, and then I got ready to go to bed. And then must have been something like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and suddenly, usually I am not a very deep sleeper, but kind of sleep well in the night. And on that particular occasion, I start waking up in the middle of the night, and the first thing that happened when I was waking up was then I hear a noise like something like flying on top of my head, and it was almost like I was feeling like boom, 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 you know, this kind of sound. So eventually, a bit sleepy, I opened my eyes and I saw something black very quickly spinning, you know, on top of my head, which was about, I would say, about a meter above my face. And it was going really fast, and it was making like boom, boom, boom sound. And then eventually this thing flying around became a black smoke, and it became bigger, and it was keep going into circle very, very fast. And so I freaked out, I completely freaked out, and that is the moment where basically I jumped out of bed, ran out of the room, and I went into the corridor terrified. I was really, really terrified. And I remember then I ran out of my room. I was like in shorts and a t-shirt, and I was really out of myself, you know. I was panicking, my heart was racing, and I was almost crying because I was like, oh my god, what just happened? So I'm terrified and I don't know what to do. So I decided to approach the phone in the corridor, because in this posh hotel there is usually a desk with little phone in the corridor. And I decided to call for assistance, and of course I couldn't tell them that there was a black smoke or entity flying on top of me in the room. So I decided to tell them that there was an animal flying, some sort of insect or an animal, big animal or insect flying in the room, and so I needed assistance. And of course they very quickly sent someone to assist me. So a gentleman came, a member of staff of the hotel, and he was very kind and very sweet to me. And he saw me, then I was almost crying and I was really agitated. And he said, "Miss, what happened? What happened?" And I said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but you know, I think there is an animal flying in my room, and I'm really, really scared." So I ran out. I don't even have the key for my room. I literally ran out straight away. And he said, "Don't worry, miss, we're gonna go in and we're gonna check it, and everything is gonna be fine, don't worry." So we walk in, and of course I let him walk in first. And of course I am terrified. I don't know what I'm gonna witness or what I'm going to see. And of course he's looking for an animal or something flying, like a bird or anything. And he's looking everywhere, and me, I'm walking into the room and I'm really sensing still the presence, and I'm looking around trying to see if something else would happen. I'm looking around and I'm really, really scared. So, you know, he's looking under the bed, he's looking behind the curtains, he moved the furniture to try to find. Of course he's not gonna find an animal, because I know it was a black smoke, then it was an entity. And I'm looking around thinking, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I can't tell them. I mean, what I'm gonna do to tell them to change the room? So anyway, look around, and he looked around well for about 20 minutes. And of course, he didn't find anything. So he said to me, "Miss, I can't find anything. There is nothing here. I think you possibly dreamed about it, you know. You find there is nothing here to worry about." And of course I knew that was not the case. I could really sense strongly the presence, but I didn't know what to do, I didn't know what to say. So reluctantly I have to accept it, and I say thank you very much. And I had to stay in the room, guys, and that was so horrible. I have to stay there until the next day, one more night before I actually report the day after for my flight. And it was horrible. I didn't sleep all night. I left the lights on. as I said, I felt the presence in the room, and of course I was very vigilant to see if something else was gonna happen. The next day I decided to go out all day and spend as little as possible in the room because I didn't want to be there. And of course I tried to sleep after that in the afternoon. I tried to get some rest the night before my flight until the morning, and then eventually, finally, I was so glad that the time to leave arrived, and I could not wait to get out of that room because it was very, very uncomfortable to be there. So I went to reception to leave the key, give back the key. And of course I knew that the hotel must have known what had happened to me. I mean, on the cameras they must have seen me literally rushing out of my room, jumping, throw myself on the floor in panic. So of course the hotel staff must have heard, or some of them must have seen that on the CCTV. And I gave the key for the room, and they asked me, is everything okay? How was your stay? Are you okay? And basically I said, yes, I'm fine, thank you so much, everything is fine. I just have a question to ask you, if it's not too much trouble. And she said, yeah, of course you can ask me anything you want. And I said, well, I come here a lot, as you know, and usually we stay on the other side. And on this particular occasion I was put on this other side of the hotel, which I never been. And I noticed the room was very different. It was much more big, and even the decor was very different. So how come this side of the hotel looks a bit different comparing this other side of the hotel? And so at that point the lady told me, well, that's because about 100 years ago there was apparently a fire on this hotel, and it has destroyed part of the structure, and so the site where you stay is part of the structure where it was basically rebuilt, and the site where you stay on this occasion was actually part of the original structure of the hotel. It hasn't changed much over time. So I took in what she was saying, and I realized that probably the area of the hotel must have been haunted, or maybe the particular room linked probably to this fire that happened in this hotel. I've tried to do some research on that particular hotel to see about fire, any story about fire, but unfortunately I have to admit, guys, I wasn't able to find specific information about the story that the lady told me. And that was it. And then so I left, and it's the story, guys. This is one of the most terrifying encounter that I've experienced with entity and ghosts, and especially because the black smoke, it wasn't like manifesting with white light, it was actually manifesting with black smoke, which for me, I think it's probably very negative, because unfortunately although I can sense spirits and ghosts, I cannot work out if it's a good or a bad entity, or if it's a male or female. I'm not able to differentiate with things like that. But of course the indication of the black smoke for me was like bad news. And of course after that I've been flying there other times as expected. But fortunately, I was never being put in the side of the hotel ever again. I was always placed on the usual side where we usually used to stay. So I never had to be on the side of the hotel ever again. And I was really happy about it, because I didn't want to be there ever again. And also I felt like so isolated. I didn't see anybody in the corridor or anything like that. It felt like a very isolated side of the hotel. So this is all for the story of the ghost of Yerevan, and let me know what you think. If you enjoyed the story, please like and subscribe. This really helps creators like me for people to find the channel. And it's free content, it doesn't cost anything, but it makes a huge difference for me. So if you can do that, thank you very much. And also, yeah, let me know if you've had any experience like this, similar, where you have had an encounter with an entity that has manifested as a black smoke or a white smoke or anything like that. Please share it with me. It would be nice for me to know what you have experienced and how it happened. It's always nice to know that people share the same experiences or similar. So thank you very much for listening, and I will see you soon on my channel with another video. Bye bye.